Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Opinionated SEO Opinions. And this time we are together with a wonderful SEO, technical SEO, Brenda Malone. She's not only an amazing SEO, but she's also one of the kindest people that I know, as far as I can see from the Women in Tech SEO community mostly. I am meeting with her for the first time as well, just like probably as most of you are. And I'm very excited, as you can tell. So, hello, Brenda. Welcome.
Hi, ladies. Thanks for having me. And your words are really too kind. Thank
Oh,
you. I just love to help people. That's what I do.
we can tell. We can
Yes,
tell.
we
And it's
appreciate it. We've long been
Thank you.
admirers of yours in Women in Tech SEO. So yes, thank you so much for joining us.
It's either helping people or procrastinating on my real work. Have not figured out.
Why not both?
Do both. Totally.
I don't do that
and,
either. No.
and it's time to share this with the world. So would you give us a quick intro about yourself? I know that you have an amazing career. So what does Brenda Malone do?
Oh, wow. I have a very long career. In fact, SEO is probably my 18th career. I officially retired from being in conventional marketing for 25 years. The old school marketing, the Marcom, the speech writing, the graphics, the IT stint, the working in a police department for 10 years, a stint, which was not to be repeated. And when I decided to leave government, I transitioned to SEO. That was about 6 years ago. And I went to a small agency out of New York, and they were willing to help me learn everything that I needed to know about tech SEO. And I was the tech SEO exclusively for the agency for 6 years until I've transitioned to NP Digital as the senior tech strategist at NPD. And now I met all of you guys, and I love the Women in Tech SEO community. And I'm so glad I met everybody because they've helped me grow, learn to speak more, share more, be a better person. So that's my story in a nutshell.
Wow.
Wonderful. I think Women in Tech SEO community brings the best out of all of us. So again, a wonderful thank you and kudos to
Thank
Arish
you.
for giving us that safe space to be ourselves and just share openly.
100%. Can't
Mhm.
state that enough. Can't state it enough. I was nothing until I found you guys.
Oh.
Well, that's definitely not true, but
Yeah.
I agree with the sentiment that it has added and enriched our lives so much in that community. It just is constantly giving. So love to see how
True.
we can all give back as well.
Exactly.
And I wouldn't underestimate the contributions of our wonderful hosts, Tori Gray and Sam Torres, both in Opinionated SEO Opinions and Women in Tech SEO community. Welcome to you two ladies.
Thank you.
Are we ready to get this episode started? Because we have
Yeah,
wonderful
let's
questions
do
lined
it.
up.
Yes.
Let's talk about video.
Yes, we're talking about video optimization from a technical SEO perspective. So lots of juicy tidbits to come.
Nice.
Yes.
So the first question comes from Jess Joyce. She is asking, how does one choose a video platform? Is one better than another? Is it okay to use more than one simultaneously?
Well, that's an interesting question. Some people choose to self-host videos, but you have to have the best, most perfect web hosting server that you can and maintain it. And it's just a lot of work. So most people will choose to either use free platforms such as YouTube or for pay platforms such as Wistia, Vidyard, Brightcove. And that's more so when you want to brand your videos and not have the YouTube advertising and related videos, and you look more professional. So better, I would choose a private hosted video platform over YouTube. but there's caveats, as in all things YouTube, it depends. The word is out that Google can prefer videos hosted on YouTube because they can better connect all of the systems with all of the other signals. So you may even want to do both. I would probably do Wistia, but still throw some of the videos on YouTube just to keep the signals coming from YouTube connected to all of my other enterprises. But there's no right one. It really all depends on your situation and what the video is for.
I agree. I'd also say a lot of those platforms that companies end up paying for, what we've seen is, yes, they're hosting them. They have this great host, but they're not using most of the features that you would actually be paying for. So definitely figure out, if you're going to go for a paid platform, are you going to use the analytics? Are you going to use the in-stream CTAs? Are you doing polls, right? Like there's some really great interactive elements that you can get from some of those paid platforms. But don't pay for it unless you actually have a plan to use it.
That's a great observation, 100%.
Yeah, because I think there's just so many times like people just don't look at the video analytics at all. And it's like, there's so much good information here for you to action off of. Interestingly, we are actually testing with a client right now. They have videos hosted by Brightcove, and then they also have some of the same videos on YouTube. So we're testing using structured data and using that same as, so that there's no like duplicate content issues. And Google hopefully understands that we know that it's the same thing. We just have different tool sets based on what the client needs.
Yeah. So I'd be
That's an
curious on your
interesting
perspective.
experiment. Yeah, I'd love to
Like
hear that.
how do you think about, if anyone, if in your experience has had the same video on 2 different platforms, do you consider that duplicate content? How do you negate that? What's your approach?
Well, what I would do is switch up the content a little bit, not the content, the marketing of the video. I'd alter the headlines. I'd probably alter the video snapshot, alter some of the descriptions, and it would probably be okay to have it on both platforms. As long as it's not the identical video, you're going to be fine. Because even Google says if you even if you put your videos on YouTube, perfectly fine to throw them on your website. So I think that the Google algorithms are pretty smart. They know that you are the true source of the videos and that you just want to spread it around. I don't think it's going to be too detrimental. Not like duplicate content on a website. I don't think it's the same level of penalty possibilities. But
Yeah.
that's a good point. I'd love to see the results of your test, Sam.
Yes.
I will let you know. We're excited because it's a fun and interesting challenge.
Yeah.
Right. Plus, one of the things that we've discussed when it comes to duplicate content, it's so much easier for Google to identify that when it's text, because that's just the normal crawl. The amount of effort they have to take to understand videos, and obviously they have the technology to do it, but whether or not they're actually taking the time, I'm not convinced that that's something they consider really valuable use of resources.
Exactly.
So they're
Especially
probably
rising
looking
costs
at
in general. All the rising costs in general of all the rendering of like JavaScript takes 8 times longer to crawl.
10 times.
Right.
So if we think that Google is really spending the time to differentiate and kind of match those things, I'm just like, that seems like a lot of resources for not a lot of win. Why would they do that?
And as long as you're on their YouTube, they're probably just happy that you're exploiting their platform. So
Exactly.
totally agree with you guys.
So since we want to take advantage of the videos on our pages and we don't want Google to ignore them basically, or just dwell on too much, not to see any value. So what are some of the on-page basics for video SEO?
Critical is a thumbnail that grabs attention. That's probably equally as important as the content on the video, because if you can't bring them to your video, they're not going to know the excellent content. So you've got to make it interesting enough that they actually click on your video. So you're going to need interesting thumbnails, and make sure that whatever thumbnail headline that you use for your video, do it on mobile first. We're going to a mobile first generation. And anytime that you're fashioning your thumbnails and your headlines, I would suggest that you do it at the mobile size. Most people open their desktops, bring in Photoshop, and they do it at a full large screen level. Don't do that anymore. Take it down to a 600 by 480 document size and see if you can make everything interesting from that size. And you're going to have more success if you're clear, to the point. It's an interesting thumbnail, something that will make them click. That's in order to get them to click on the video. But after they've clicked, you're going to need an optimized video for subtitles. You're going to need timing marks, because people are anxious and restless and they get bored easily. So it's going to be great to add chapter denotations so people know they can go right to the part that they're interested in. And just make everything so crystal clear. And in the descriptions, leave clear call to actions. Leave your website, leave your contact information, wherever you want them to go after they view the video. Of course, you want them to share it, but you want them to be able to know how to take action and use what you've presented in the video. And going forward, as far as accessibility, also, you really do need to have that video transcribed. If it's going to be a professional video where you want it shared and equally accessible to all audiences, highly, highly recommended that you go the route and transcribe every single video that you use. And it's not that difficult anymore. So there's free services and paid services, but those are the majority of the things that you want to do to optimize the video.
Yes, definitely.
And make it, the most important thing though, is make sure that it's relevant to what you want the viewer to learn. Don't just go out and, shoot your dinner meal and put that in video. Research what people want to know. Go find people also asked, or look at your keywords, look at your questions, look at Search Console to see what people are looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Make your videos relevant to what searchers want. And you have a good chance of being very successful in your videos.
I'm loving all the clues that you have been dropping since the beginning of you like identifying this process. The human is actually at the center of everything that we do. So
Yep.
it's very like, I think it comes out more when it comes to video. So as you said, the timestamps, key moments, descriptions, transcripts, all of these are important elements when it comes to on page. And I wanted to actually follow up with, is embedding a video on the page is not enough, definitely, based on what you are saying. Also, you have to do transcripts as well. But can you include more than one video, and what other features are needed in addition to what I have just listed?
I totally agree. In addition to putting your video, and I'm going to concentrate on YouTube because everybody uses YouTube.
It's the easiest, yeah.
It's
The
ubiquitous.
most prevalent, yeah.
Yep. So let's just say it's YouTube by default. Even though your video is on YouTube and it may be gaining traction, the first thing you want to do is also embed it on your website, to be sure, because you want to become the true source, the first source, before that video gets shared widely. So Google can pick up the signals. really, you only want one video per page. And I know some people, they just love to slather videos all over. But in order to gain the most traction, put your video as close to the top, as close to relevant content on that page that you can, and put excellent video schema on that video. But there will be instances where you do have more than a couple videos. I've had lawyer clients and they just want every video that they've ever done on a single page. In that instance, you would give the primary video the most room, put it as high in the content on the page as you can. However, lower on the page, you can also add other videos, but do not necessarily give those the video schema. Give those list schema so that Google can see, okay, there's other videos here. Well, we don't really care about them, but we know that they exist. But we're going to concentrate on that main video that you've moved up in the page hierarchy that you consider most important. You're the owner, and as it gets shared over the web, they're going to give you credit for producing and owning that content. So that was a lot. Sorry.
No, that was good.
Yeah.
Also, and I think it's interesting, you know, because we've just last few months got the video indexing report in GSC. So really exciting to see that. So I'd say that this is a topic that's coming up with clients a lot right now, is how, you know, because we're getting all these different messages and like the prominent video could not be found, or it was the wrong format, or, you know, the thumbnail didn't work, right?
Exactly.
So love your advice of, you know, put it high in the page. Also, I feel like a lot of people are saying that, but what I want to highlight, Brenda, is what you just talked about of next to relevant content.
Yep.
Like, I think that is something that maybe people miss pretty often, right? If the video, you know, if you've got a long article and you're telling the story and the video doesn't match until you get 3/4 of the way through the story, maybe you need to restructure your story, right?
Exactly.
Maybe
Exactly.
there's a different way to tell it. But I love that action item of make sure it's next to relevant content, because I think that's something that sometimes is missing. And for sure, I think we're working with our customers to move them to having that mindset of a single page per video, which I think it's really starting to be interesting how the video strategy is matching what how I guess I would say blog content strategy was revolutionized maybe. Well, whenever Hummingbird came out and we got semantic search, and so it was like focus more on topics instead of keywords, right? Think more about concepts instead of just iterations. It feels like we're kind of having the same renaissance with videos. So it's just really fun to see how that's going.
Plus, people don't read anymore. We're in a society now where, you know, a paragraph of 500 words is too much. You know, they just want to skim. They are visual people anymore. The younger generation, they just want to watch a video. They want to watch Instagram, TikTok videos, and call it a day. So the more succinct, available, and prominent your videos are, the more success you will probably have as a marketer, a website owner, product, e-commerce person.
Yep.
100%.
Yeah. So since we are talking about focusing on the content of the video, is there a way to remove ads from embedded YouTube videos to keep people really focused on the video and not to get them distracted?
You can, but you have to do, if you are a prolific video producer, you can turn it off totally on all the videos. Right now, Google does not allow you to select specific videos that you don't want the ads to show. You can just turn it off, period. And if you're not using it for marketing or affiliate or the ad buys, I would highly recommend that you just stop all advertising on your video if that's, if you're not specifically producing videos for the revenue, and then that's a whole nother story. You would want the videos. But as far as the most annoying thing about the YouTube video embedding is the related videos that show after your video runs on your page, that related videos, and it could be a competitor. You don't want a competitor. So when you're using the embed code from YouTube, there's settings where when you hit the share button and go to the settings, you can turn off show related videos. You just have to do some digging, and that code is totally alterable to stop all of that silliness. You just have to look at it, and if you don't know how, there's a YouTube video to show you
Yes,
how to turn off that
one.
stuff. See what they've done, and yeah, just my first recommendation is to turn off showing related videos. The ads don't really bother me a lot because I can skip through them, but that related videos, it's not a good thing when your competitor comes up right after your video has been shown.
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably my number one tip.
Yeah, the cost of a free platform.
Yeah,
Yeah,
wonderful.
true.
That's how you're paying.
True.
If you don't want to pay in that way, there are paid solutions for that.
Yeah.
100%.
Exactly.
Would you mind if I rewind a little backwards and get back to Schema again? Because as everybody knows, we cannot stop talking about Schema. We wanted to ask you about the Schema best practices for video pages.
The schema that I would use would be video object. And the requirements for a successful video object schema presentation, you'd have to have the video title, the description of the video, the upload date. You have to have a thumbnail and have the URL of that thumbnail. The embedded URL that needs to go into your schema, and the duration of your video. And that's basically all of the video object schema that you need for that video that is embedded on your website. Only do that if you have multiple videos on your page. Reminder again, only do that on one of the videos, the most prominent video. Don't put video object schema on a page full of videos. Google's going to just say, forget it. It's a mess. I don't know what their focus is. Here's just a bunch of videos. So only use video object once per page. And then if you have other videos on the page, use them as list object video schema, just so they know that there's other possibilities. There's more content other than the one video object.
Mm-hmm.
Also, you also want to add, it's going to be good to have a key moments in the videos that you embed. So do the same thing that you do on YouTube. Try to do the chapters, the key moment timings, and provide those in the schema. And that increases your opportunities for being shown on a rich schema. If someone asks a question, and if your video at 0.4 minutes and 17 seconds answers that question, and Google knows that you've earmarked this section to answer this question, you're going to get shown on the rich results, which is probably a big deal. It's cool when you get selected to be up top.
Yep. Yeah, and that is something we definitely do with the videos for opinionated SEO opinions. And so we'll definitely be doing that with this one. So we'll be doing chapters of the different questions. So
how cool.
I have more than one video per page. Hopefully we'll get that snippet. Probably not, but we're gonna hope anyways. Yeah, because yeah, key moments I think is something really powerful but underutilized right now by many SEO companies, right?
Yep.
I feel like influencers are really getting good at understanding that that's what they need to do with their videos. Businesses are lagging a little bit behind. And then yeah, on the other sides of that, I'd love to know, how often have you included a transcript in your structured data about the video?
Very important, very important. And people are afraid when you say the word, I need a transcript for a video, they just go helter-skelter. It's not that hard. There's plenty of services that do transcribe your videos, and they're relatively inexpensive. You can get a video transcribed, I don't know, $5-10. It's really not a big deal anymore. There's also free methods. For those who have Android or iPhones, there is an app that transcribes. It's from voice to text transcription, totally free app. So I've utilized that in the past where I'll record the video and play the video while my phone is listening and it's transcribing as the video is playing. Totally free. So there's really no excuse not to have a transcript for your videos, and it's the right thing to do for accessibility. You can't assume that everyone can hear or does not have problems in an area. It's just the right thing to do, and it's free and it's cheap. You have to put that in the list of must do for videos.
Yeah. Shout out to Otter, which is what we use, otter.ai. They have a freemium version, and we've moved to the paid version because it just does an excellent job.
Nice.
And we can just upload the video directly in, so we don't have to do that holding the video up to the speaker thing anymore, which was a barrier for a bit, but it is a way to get the job done.
Definitely done that in the past. Yes.
I like Otter. I'll have to go look at Otter. I had not heard of Otter. Thank you.
Yeah, and it's like $100 a year or something for.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
it's
trivial.
Like
It's very cheap, especially when you consider like how much video production usually costs.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
right.
It's not that much more. Yeah.
Now that you
course,
mentioned that, when I was at the other agency, my first agency, we would always send the script out to the video producers to let them know, because our videos were cheap. They were just moving stock photos, fading them in and out while announcer was reading the script. So what I would do whenever I was charged with putting the video on the client website, I'd always ask for the script, because usually they read the script verbatim, and that was a built-in transcription. So if that's how you also work, if you're responsible for giving the video producers the script, just take that, fashion it into your transcript, and put it on YouTube, which is highly appreciated. Put it on your site. Making transcripts is a piece of cake anymore, so there's no excuse not to do it.
Agreed.
100%. Go ahead, Tora. Were you going to say something?
No, but I might as well now. Yeah, I think not only can you automate that and make that much quicker, I do recommend human reviewing it too, which is a higher lift. So it depends on the volume of video, but there's just little things any AI can't catch. So you want to go through, you want to make sure it's the right words. And further, I would take the time, if you're going to embed that on a page, to actually structure that to make it scannable and readable in the same way that you're doing key moments for your videos. Use headers, use jump links, insert hyperlinks, insert context when people are discussing Otter. Maybe we should include a link to them. Like, help people who are consuming your content. Like, if you're going to bother to do it, maximize the return out of it and really help people with all levels of accessibility, or who just want it at different levels so they can do different things, you know, in different situations. Sometimes you want to watch and sit at your desk, and sometimes you want to listen and walk. You know, accessibility helps everyone.
Exactly.
It really does.
How embarrassing has it been if you guys are in an environment where you want to be quiet and you hit a link and all of a sudden this YouTube video starts blaring.
Yeah.
Don't be that person. Don't do the
Oh, that's why
autoplay
I
on the
am
video.
so glad they took away or I think they did. So, I'm not going to die on this hill, but I think they took away the autoplay abilities.
It's so wrong.
Thank God.
Just say no. Don't
Yeah.
do that.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
the
actually
autoplay.
because I was checking out, I think it's Hive is like the maybe new replacement of Twitter, right? Like there's Mastodon, there's blah, blah, blah. So I signed up for Hive last night because it's the new one. So I'm going to see it. And there's an option in my profile to autoplay your music.
Oh no.
And I'm like, is this MySpace? What is happening
Yeah, I
right
was gonna
now?
say, like, that's a throwback. Also, not the first time we've talked about MySpace on this video series. And I just I very much remember being like, Begum, do you remember anything from MySpace? And no, she does not.
I was
No,
also
but,
very interested.
yeah, God, you
Very
can
interested. My
Tom.
face keeps popping up.
Wow. Well, hey, MySpace is why I learned CSS. So
Oh, right.
I gotta give them some credit
Right.
for,
Right.
improving my life.
Did you
Let's link
also learn to rank your friends in order of importance on your profile page? Because
Oh, I did not. I didn't know that.
Well, that was
That's
a deal.
I want my spice back. I want to see that.
What's really
Well,
interesting, MySpace actually has pretty high engagement and is a large platform internationally now.
Damn.
It's still around.
Yeah.
Oh my
Justin
God,
Timberlake
it's on
owns
your
it.
profile still
No.
somewhere. Oh no.
Yeah, I tried to
I
delete
gotta-
mine a really long time ago, and I no longer have access to that email address because it was a Hotmail email address. God,
Oh,
yeah, these are
God.
all very good throwbacks. Yeah, but Begum, just so you know, basically you'd have your friends like you would on Facebook, but you could actually choose what order they showed in.
I did not know that.
So your top 8, whoo,
Drama.
that got spicy. Like,
Wow.
Yeah. And
if
sometimes
you
friends
would,
would be
like-
removed. You'd be with a
yeah.
boyfriend, you'd be without a boyfriend, he would go away, and that's how people would know. There was no like
Mhm.
no longer in a relationship status Facebook style. This was
Oh,
Yeah.
jeez.
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
was a deal.
No, it was, yeah,
Sounds
it was,
like it.
it was a lot of drama. So much
A
drama.
lot.
Thankfully, Twitter doesn't make us miss from the drama, so
I was about to
True.
say
looking
there's drama
for
on
the
every
next
platform.
adventures, let's say.
That's
Yeah,
true.
on a
That is
different
true.
platform, on a different planet.
Yeah,
different
let's
galaxy.
also be real. When I was on MySpace, I was a teenage girl in middle school and high school, so there was drama no matter what, because
Wow.
there's just so many changes. What's happening? Right. So
Lovely.
oh,
Yeah, I don't know how to wrap this up, but I am going to give a
MySpace and
challenge.
the throwbacks.
There was one more question I wanted to bring up. So I know you said putting the video as high on the page as possible, but I'd love to hear your perspective on page speed, site performance versus video, and like how do you balance those? How do you optimize that? What are your recommendations for how to make that workable in a speedy online world?
Oh, that's all the rage. That's what I do 8 hours a day is look at performance. So there are some clever developers, people, smart people who have come up with so many different tactics to make that video not as performance bashing as it could be. My favorite tactic is to embed the video, no problem. Even if it's high in the page, even if it is above the fold, and it really should be above the fold. Put the embed code there. You can even lazy load it, even above the fold. However, put a GIF or an image of the play button above the video so that as the page loads, the video is not interrupting the performance because it's set to load at a lower priority. But make that image of the play button cover the div for the video. So when the person presses that, it links to the video, which is then downloaded and can start playing. And you do not take a really big performance hit. The same as if you just put a naked video on the page and you had to wait for it to load and come back from a service to another server call. So that could add 3, 4, 5, 6 seconds, and you don't want that. So be smart about it. If your video is above the fold, put a picture over it, link that picture to the playing of the video, but that video itself, set it to lazy loading. And that's probably the only instance where I would lazy load anything above the fold. But if your video is below the fold, whatever, you still want to just lazy load it. And you really don't have to worry about the transparent play button. But I've seen it done very well that way. That's a new trick that people started doing a couple years ago, and I'm here for it. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually love that because it's a really nice way that, especially if you're using YouTube videos,
Yep.
you can make it look like a more branded or customized experience.
100%.
So yeah, it's really interesting. You can make that really work so much better in your own design by having that image overlay. Love that.
Yeah, and most of the modern page builders, most people are on WordPress. They do allow for you to do that. So it's not going to require a rocket science developer to do that trick.
Also,
Very
it's going
cool.
to have the dimensions, so you would cut back on the cumulative layout shifts as well. So that wouldn't be an issue.
100%. Yeah,
Thing.
that's a very
And
good
that
point.
answers,
Thank you.
yeah, of course. And that answers Natalie Kunz's question about whether is lazy loading a video okay, and apparently it is. Wonderful. One more question though. This sits a little bit apart from the others, but do you have a recommendation on how to get a live badge in the SERPs with live video events? This comes from Sevi Selecki.
Those are fun. Those are fun. What you want to do is you have to do a lot of advanced planning. You have to get live, I forgot what it's called, this correct schema on it, broadcast
Broadcast
schema.
event schema. Yeah.
Yeah, put that on it, fill it out properly, do it correctly, and you have to employ the Google indexing API so that and time it so that Google knows about the page, they know about the event either in advance or even after the event has happened. But their recommendation is as soon as you know about the video, get it all set up. I'm sorry, the broadcast event, get it set up, submit it via the Google API, and that's a whole nother story how you hook up the API. It's not that difficult anymore. Just so and time it so that Google knows about the video. And if all of your broadcast schema is correct, you'll get that live video banner. And I think that's cool. And you can put it on events that have passed and that events that are to come, which is really a cool feature. And most people don't use it because you have to put a little bit of forethought into it.
Yep.
That's
Yeah,
very cool.
wonderful question. Thank you so much, Sevi.
Sure.
Yes.
Another outlier but very important question. It's coming from Birthe E, and she is asking, do on-site views of videos count towards your YouTube views?
Yes. Yes, they do. Google is so smart. Within their embed code, it's connected to your plays. So anytime that video is played on an influencer's platform, Twitter, MySpace, hello, your ad, you will get the counts for that video. You don't necessarily have to be on that platform and play the video on YouTube. It just doesn't work like that, which is cool.
That
Yeah.
is cool.
It's a good
Wonderful.
question.
Yeah. So as we are getting closer to wrapping up this episode, Brenda, do you have anything else that you want to share with us?
Parting advice.
Go forth and make videos. Make good videos. They don't have to be giant productions like Gone with the Wind or anything like that. Explainer videos are the wave of the future. People have stopped reading as we announced earlier in the talk. So make an explainer video of any process that you are familiar with that you think people are searching for. Go to Search Console, go to Answer the Public, do some keyword research, make your videos answer queries that people want to know about. You can do them very quickly. There's a lot of, Fiverr folks who can do a quick explainer videos. We've all seen the hand that moves and writes text. Those are valuable. Think of the last time that you went there and that's all you needed. If you needed to know how to do one specific thing, that was a great video. And the more you do it, the more helpful you are, the more successful your video site, your own website, and you as a person in the space in your industry, the better you will be. So go forth in video.
Yay! Wonderful, wonderful wrap up. Yes.
Cool.
And any go-to video optimization expert you recommend checking out?
I don't really concentrate too much on specific video people. I'm all over SEO people in general, but I do look at videos from Morning fame. Brian Dean, of course, he's the master of everything SEO and video. And there's a woman called Jillian Perkins. She is very relatable and her videos are nice and soft and she teaches you all of the latest tricks. So other than just those three, I generally would follow SEO people in general because we're the smartest people and we know the tricks.
I like it.
We are.
Well, thank you
That's
so
why
much.
they pay us.
I'm out of my words. I haven't been in a group that is like so self-conscious, I would say, I think.
The imposter
Well,
syndrome.
we know the value that we bring, even though sometimes our clients don't. Sometimes people don't even think they need us. Funny story is every time I go to a new website, somebody recommends, oh, go to this site. The first thing I'll do is I'll go up to the SEO Pro extension and see, they don't have description on their video. They need SEO. So
Yep,
we're smarter than the average bears if they let us be.
that's true. I do agree with that. We make the internet better.
One step
Hopefully.
at a time. One link at a time, one video at a time.
Exactly.
True.
Yes, wonderful. Thank you so much for this amazing episode. Thank you,
Thank you for
Brenda.
joining us, Brenda.
I
That was
appreciate the
fantastic.
opportunity to talk. I'm a talker, so thank you guys for humoring me today.
Thank you
Brilliant
for
insights. We
sharing
love you.
all that.
We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Yes, and we are looking forward to your questions on anything related to SEO at thegray.company/ask SEO questions. Don't forget to share your insights, peeps.